Hello and good morning everybody. Welcome to the Gold and Silver Club weekly review. So today guys we are going to be having a look at the weekly review on gold and silver. And we are going to be reviewing the latest developments in commodities markets and analysing the week's performance. So this live session this morning, this will cover end of week summary for gold, silver, oil, and we'll also be looking at commodity currencies. We'll be covering the top trades of the last 2 weeks. We'll be looking at live market commentary and technical analysis, and we'll also be looking at the week ahead, so key events looking forward. Okay, so very quickly, I am Phil Carr, professional trader, trainer and speaker. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. I specialise in teaching people how to make money from trading the biggest financial markets in the world, Forex, gold, silver and oil. I've trained thousands of individuals to become independent traders, successfully manage their own portfolio, and I'm responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies that have a proven track record of generating returns for traders. So I'm also a regular contributor to a number of financial publications, and I speak at numerous training seminars and workshops sharing expert knowledge with investors who have a similar passion for trading. And join with me on today's call is Nick Kalsi, who's a professional trader, investment analyst and speaker. Nick is the co-founder of the Gold and Silver Club. He began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before making the transition into proprietary trading. He's the co-founder of the Gold and Silver Club. He's spent over 5 years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top tier hedge funds and investment banks. And it's through Nick's first-hand relationships with some of the world's most successful traders that he's discovered the formula, mindset and tools to give any individual the definitive edge to make money in any economy. I'm sure a lot of you agree mindset is very important when trading, and he also regularly writes for a number of global business and financial publications and appears regularly on television. So you're in good company today with myself and Nick is going to be answering all your questions. Okay, fantastic. So first of all, guys, we want to make this nice and interactive. So can you tell me, or have a look at right now, what the gold price is at the moment? So we're going to be talking about gold, silver, commodity currencies. Anybody like to tell me or have a guess? We're looking at the gold price in dollars at the moment. It's been an interesting week for the commodities. Oh, Peter, you are bang on. Okay, fantastic. So the price of gold right now is $1,768 per ounce. So we are going to be talking through the recent moves. So we've had very much a week of consolidation in the last week. So that's the gold price right now, guys. And we also want to just quickly touch upon key events we want to be aware of when trading gold, silver and commodity currencies. So the following news announcements are always worth having in your diary, making sure you're well aware of them in advance. So obviously last Friday we had non-farm payroll. We're going to go through just the key news announcements that we keep track of when trading the commodities. So non-farm payroll, very important. It's a level of employment in America which indicates the overall strength in their respective economy. This moves market substantially. It did the same. It delivered again last Friday. Huge volatility in the markets, actually resulting in gold and silver ending lower for the day. But this has sparked huge rallies to the upside and big drops to the downside. So this is a very important news announcement you want to take into account. If you don't know already, it's the first Friday of every month, and that's at 1:30 p.m. UK time. The next important announcements we want to look out for are interest rates. So the interest rates set by central bank exert enormous influence on currencies as well. So we definitely want to, we have those in our diary way ahead of time so we know when those are going to be announced. Inflation, so inflation numbers like CPI and PPI show the level of inflation in a country. Again, these have important impact on currencies which also affect gold and silver. Probably one of the top three most important announcements that we get for gold and silver is Federal Reserve and Federal Reserve interventions. So when we have FOMC announcements, and particularly when Ben Bernanke appears before Congress, there are huge market moves on the commodities. More recently, since the end of August, each FOMC meeting has produced rallies on gold and silver, and on the 13th of September, when we had QE3 launched, that was a huge market mover. So these are very important news announcements to have in your diary. And the Eurozone. So with the growing debt situation in Europe, that also has significant impact on currency prices. Obviously, this affects the euro, which also affects gold and silver. What you'll typically see, if we have a strong euro, at the moment they're fairly correlated still. Not as you'll find that gold will tend to rally with the euro. So if the euro is rallying, you will see gold and silver more often than not. They will tend to rally with it. The US dollar, if the US dollar is strong, we can see slight pullbacks in gold and silver. If the US dollar is weak, we'll often see gold and silver rallying. So the Eurozone is an important announcement. We also want to take into account anytime there's going to be ECB meetings, or we're going to have any announcements there. So these are really the top news announcements I would like, if you want to keep them in your diary for trading commodities. These are the ones you need to be taking note of on a regular basis. So we just wanted to touch upon that before moving on. So the top trades of the last 2 weeks. So Nick and myself, we were at a conference last week in London, and we weren't able to do the usual Friday weekly analysis, so we're going to give you the top trades that we've had over the last 2 weeks. So it's been certainly an interesting 2 weeks. You may have seen we actually mentioned last time that we had crude oil on the 26th of September. We had a big move on crude oil. So it was a 380-point move. It was a perfect price action trade. So we came down to $108.43 per barrel. Our exit was $112.23 per barrel. Now, the reason we're showing you this, we don't want to repeat it. The reason we're showing you this is because we've had exactly the same trade appear again. So this trade actually appeared about 10 days later. The price, it went up to 112.35. We couldn't break through it, so it was actually a fantastic sell short opportunity. And then the price came down. It retested 108.43. You would have need roughly, probably about 75 points actually, but you would have been looking at around about 100 points to keep you in this trade. But the upside, as we know from previously taking this trade, was 380 points. So fantastic trade, and you can see how price action works, and it's very predictable for markets such as crude oil. They really do move well through price action Fibonacci levels. You'll actually see there, where I've highlighted in white towards the bottom there, the first white line is our entry point, the second white line is our stop loss, and the third big chunk of white is the whole area which we actually took advantage of. So it's another 380-point move on crude oil. So you do definitely want to have these levels and be aware of them. So our entry there, $108.43, exit $112.35, and again, that was a trade which came about in just 24 hours. We were in and out of that trade. That's definitely one of our top trades in the last 2 weeks. Next trade we want to look at is USD CAD. So we've spoken about this before. So essentially, US dollar and Canadian dollar, they tend to move inversely to gold and silver. So sometimes you will see a rally on gold and silver. You'll see the gold and silver prices grinding up. There may not be a trade on them, and there might not be a reason for you to enter that trade unless it's a breakout or unless you've managed to get in using a signal on one of your strategies. However, quite often we will have a perfect setup on USD, Canadian dollar, or one of the other commodity currencies. So here is a great example. So gold and silver had bottomed out for the day. They had a bit of a pullback on the 4th of October. We came up to test this resistance level on USD CAD, so it was 0.9882. You can see there actually we came up, we tested this price action. It's a Fibonacci level there as well. Traders took profit. We then retested it. We couldn't break above it. The stop loss on this was tiny. In all honesty, we only needed a 5-point stop loss on this trade. And then the markets actually started to come down. The gold and silver started to gain strength, and USD, Canadian dollar, started to fall. And we actually managed to get to our profit target, which was, you can see there, it was 0.9824, and it was a 58-point move, and that was just in a single day, single trading session there. So it was a nice little, great risk to reward on that, almost a 9-to-1 ratio, 10-to-1 ratio on that. So our risk was only 5 pips on that. We made 58 pips. So that was certainly one of our best trades over the last 2 weeks for risk and reward. There was huge. And we're looking at gold now. Actually, I wanted to mention gold quickly. This was on the 4th. So I'm going to be talking about how gold is really range bound at the moment. We can't seem to break out from the $1,800 per ounce currently. We've tested this. This was the highest point actually we've got to so far in 2012. So that's $1,795 per ounce. We broke ever so slightly above our price action level we were looking at 1,790. Price couldn't quite make it. It couldn't get to 1,800, and then the price turned around, came back down, and has retested the sort of 1770 to 1760 level. So the trade at the moment, really, we can make money when markets go up, down, or sideways. Right now, gold is going sideways, so is silver, and there's plenty of opportunities to trade the markets whilst they're going sideways from resistance, and then you can selling off resistance and also buying into support, and we'll go through that. So here we've got silver. So silver actually presented another, in a similar fashion to gold, another nice sell short opportunity. So silver, again, it broke out to $35 an ounce. It couldn't get above this level as well, really struggling. Either traders are taking profit, probably a combination of both. Traders are taking profit at this level, and also traders are selling short at this level. So it's really providing fairly strong resistance at the moment. So our entry there, you can see highlighted in white, was $35 per ounce, where we sold short off a failed breakout again off that level. And then we had a move to the downside, and we keep coming back down to this sort of level of support. It's around about $33.62, or $33.60, let's call it, to round up. But you can see there we had a nice profit of 138 pips on there. So we're just looking, if you trade in lots like we do, so trading at one lot, that's $1,380. You might be trading at more than that, 2, 3, 4 lots, but one lot is essentially the equivalent to £10 per point. So you can see there where we've had the a sell short opportunity on silver, and also every time we've come down to test that support level of 33.60, it's been a buying opportunity as well. So both gold and silver very much moving sideways at the moment. And also, this was actually a trade yesterday on pound dollar. So pound dollar came, it retested a price action level again. It's that 1.6000 level. Our entry was just 1 pip below that, but it's holding support at the moment. We broke through it ever so slightly, but you would have stayed in that. It's only just a 15-point risk on that would have kept you in the trade, and we had an upside yesterday. We actually reached our profit target, the next price action level up. You can see there where we actually took profit. A lot of traders, it was hitting another resistance level. So the white little rectangle you'll see there is showing where we actually took profit. So it's a 49-point trade and from a 15-point risk. So again, we had about 3 to 4 risk to reward ratio on there. So a nice trade on cable. That was just yesterday. And cable, by cable I mean pound dollar. Okay, so we're going to, we will be talking about news in the week ahead, but we're going to do some live market commentary now. So if I can just flip you across to my screen, just bear with me. Okay, what you should be able to see now is a chart, a MetaTrader chart. If you guys would just bear with me 1 second, just confirm you can see that okay. Okay, fantastic. Right, so here we have, this is, we're going to be looking at the chart for silver at the moment. So as you can see on silver, we are very range bound at the moment. So we're just moving very simply between a level of support, which is around about 33.60, which I've highlighted in white. So each time we've got down to this level, it has provided a level of support. And really, so here is the entry level, or level of support we've been looking at. And you can see here is a resistance level. So all I'm doing here, I'm not giving any recommendations. This is just simply just showing you where the price is moving between a channel at the moment. So you can see where traders have been taking profit or selling short off the $35 per ounce level, and then once the market is coming back down again, we've come down, retested around about 33.60, and we've just been consolidating. So we've managed to hold on to gains since QE3. You can see there we broke out to the upside quite significantly towards the end of August. In fact, over the last 2 months, we've moved up over 21% on silver. So silver is holding its ground. Obviously, if we do have some major news which pushes us below the 33 ounce level, we would expect a sell-off and possibly retesting towards the early 30s there, 31 and then 30 below that. And we are very interested at the moment in a breakout on silver to see if we can take the move above 35. At the moment, it's providing strong resistance, the 35 level. But if we can break above 35, let's say about 35.40 at the moment, really, and if we can clear that and close above that in a day, over the evening session, we would be starting to target 37. Actually, would be the next level we'd be interested in and be targeting. There's not a lot of resistance between 36 and 37, guys. So very interested in that in silver. But right now, market has been consolidating, and the trade at the moment is really to take advantage of the sideways nature of silver at the moment. Okay, so similar story with gold here. So gold actually, it's moving between around about, this seems to be sort of a strong area of support currently. We've only broken through it once, so it's around about 1,757 per ounce there, and you can see we keep going up to resistance of around about 1,787.88. So we're currently moving. We're fairly range bound on gold as well. So here you've got levels where we've got support and resistance. The price only has actually broken through that once, and that time it did actually break through that, we came and we were supported by a previous level of consolidation here where we found support with the price. So gold, very much, it's not moving massively at the moment. There are some quick trades we've been able to take from selling shorts just below 1800, and also from buying in to a buy zone there at the support level. But yeah, again, gold has not been very active this week, but we are taking advantage of the sideways market. Okay, now we're going to look at cable. So cable took quite a tumble towards the beginning of October. You can see the move we had to the downside. So here you see we've broken some key levels of support. So there haven't really been, unless you were selling short off these levels, there haven't been, just bear with me, let me just bring this up. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll show you because this is going to be more relevant to this week. Here you can actually see the trade we were showing earlier. So this is where we've actually come down. We've finally seen a level of support here at a price action level. You can see is this Fibonacci level here. It's holding, and then we've bounced off it. We had quite a level of consolidation there, just around here as well. The price didn't break through. And we then started to move to the upside, and you can see where we've taken profit here, and this has been the example of the trade that we showed you earlier. That was just yesterday, so that was on pound dollar, which is a market we follow as well. And now just going to take you on to crude oil. So crude oil, here is the trade that we were discussing earlier on a trade of the week. So this is where we came down. We retested that level, 108.43. We were supported. We broke through it ever so slightly, but you know, oil can be a bit of a monster. So we were happy that it still got supported just underneath that. Probably some traders There was a bit of a war between the bulls and the bears, but the market was supported, and then we've rallied up to this 112 to 113 level. So you can see where we would have taken profit. We have taken profit. And the markets have broken out. So they've broken out to the upside. We've actually just come down and retested 113.13 just this morning, and we've bounced off that fairly quickly. You can see here where we've come down and retested this level. Yep, you can actually see that from this morning. So at the moment, from a bounce off that level, just above it, we've not got a huge move. It's about 64 points at the moment, but you can see possibly where that level of resistance is now becoming support. So we're interested to see what's going to happen with crude oil now. And we're just going to take a look at the commodity currencies quickly. Okay, so same situation really with New Zealand US dollar. We've been moving very much range bound over the last really 2 weeks, well, since the beginning of October. So here we can see where we've got a level of support. And we can also see where the price is encountering some resistance here as well. So quite a few trading opportunities have been presented on New Zealand US dollar as well. So we're very much moving within a range on New Zealand US dollar, and you can see there where we've got price supported just below that by a Fibonacci level as well. Take a look at USD Canadian dollar. There's nothing too interesting, in fact, going on USD Canadian dollar right now. We have had some nice trade opportunities over the last week or so, as you can see earlier on there, which we highlighted in the trades of the week. We're just going to take a look at Australian US dollar. So Australian US dollar encountering some resistance at the moment, just at this Fibonacci level here as well. And we just zoom out of it slightly. So we can see it seems to have bottomed out towards the beginning of October. We've reached a level of previous support. You can see here where we seem to have bottomed out for the time being, and we're encountering some was there. As I say, guys, I mean, really, we're always interested in the obvious trades. If we have to spend too long trying to work out whether we should take a trade or not, you probably shouldn't take the trade. So there are more obvious trades to be taking at the moment, but that's just what's going on with Australian US dollar at the moment. Obviously, we're encountering some resistance towards the 1.02 level there, but nothing too exciting going on with that market at the moment. Today, quite interested in gold and silver, and what we discussed earlier with the range that we're looking at. And let's also talk about news at the moment, so the news of the week ahead. So unless there are any questions, guys, I can't actually see the questions right now, so I'm sure Nick is answering those for you. That's our live market analysis right now. Just to quickly recap, very interested on, let me bring up my other chart again. Okay, so we're very interested on gold and silver to see if we're going to break out from these levels. So at the moment, 1,790 thereabouts, providing resistance. Are we going to break out from that to the upside? And on the support side, 1,760 an ounce is providing support. So we may continue to stay range bound for the short term, but a breakout in either direction will probably see quite a strong move, either to the upside or the downside. And a similar situation on silver, really. So silver 35 per ounce, providing quite a lot of resistance, and 33.60 providing support. A breakout from either of these is going to probably see a big move, but at the moment we can trade that whilst it's moving within that range. Okay, fantastic. So we are just going to come back to the presentation. Okay, fantastic. Right, so guys, now we want to just discuss the key events looking forward. So the key events that we're very interested in next week. Actually, I'm very just quickly going to, before I do that, I just want to talk about the presidential election at the moment. Nick and myself were just chatting about this a little bit earlier and the effects that this can have on the market. So essentially, Obama in the last week or so has not been doing too well, and it does affect the market because when there is a presidential debate, if President Obama is perceived to have not done very well on these debates, it does provide some weakness for the US dollar. So obviously any weakness in the US dollar, often we do see gold and silver gain strength. So it does have an effect on the markets when they are having these debates. The next one is actually next Tuesday. We just got the American time zones on there, so it's 9 to 10:30 p.m. in America, but you can convert that to London time. But they will have an effect, and as we come up to the elections, as the elections build, you want to just take note of when these debates are occurring, because they do cause volatility in the markets. And other key news looking forward. So next week, the key news you really want to put in. You can also go to actually I'll talk through that shortly. Our website where you can get some updates on the news as well. But Monday 8:30 we've got the US core retail sales. So this is essentially a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the US dollar. And as gold and silver are priced in US dollar, we're very interested in any moves like this, which can provide some volatility. It's an important indicator of consumer spending, so it's also considered as a pace indicator for the US economy. Other news you want to look out for next Tuesday, we got the German economic sentiment, the ZEW, and this is an index that gauges the 6-month economic outlook. So a level above 0 indicates optimism, and below this indicates pessimism, and a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the euro, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the euro. And of course, we're very interested in how the euro is moving in relation to gold and silver, because it does affect the gold and silver. And not as much, by the way. It used to pre-QE3 and really throughout most of the year, when we've had big sell-offs on the euro, we've tended to see gold and silver follow. More recently, when there's been big sell-offs on the euro, exaggerated sell-offs, we've seen much less of a move on gold and silver. There have been pullbacks, but they still are holding quite strong their levels of support that we just talked through. So less and less gold and silver are being affected by the euro, which is bullish for gold and silver for the time being anyway. And we also want to look at next Wednesday. We've got Chinese GDP. This measures the analysed change in the inflation-adjusted value of all goods and services produced by the economy. So a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. So if there's any talk as well about additional money printing or quantitative easing going on within China, if this is alluded to, this can have a big effect on the markets as well. So we are interested in this, particularly it affects crude oil, it affects gold and silver quite significantly. So that's another one to take note of. Okay, fantastic. So that's some of the key news to be looking out for. Nick is here as well. He's just answering any of your questions you guys have about the markets currently. And there's our slide about the election there. So if you want to be kept updated with additional news, you can actually, on our website, we've got a lot of trading tools on there. We also we use real-time news feeds as well, which you can see all of those on there, and also an economic calendar is on there. So you can just go to www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. You can also subscribe to our newsletter there, so you will be kept updated on these webinars on a weekly basis, other webinars we're doing, and we'll send you our weekly newsletter with all the market commentary as well. So you can just sign up to that and just go to our website. If you've got any questions or would like to talk further, please just either call us at our office on 0207 193 0403. Telephone number's just at the bottom there, or email us at office at thegoldensilverclub.com. So if you do want to get in contact, that is how you get in contact with us, guys. And as we come to an end of the webinar, bang on 11:30, that's pretty much, unless there's any other questions there, guys. Yeah, you're absolutely welcome, Peter. Thanks very much. Peter just saying he really enjoys our presentations each week. Thanks very much for the feedback, Peter. And we look forward to speaking. We'll be here again next Friday, same time at 11 o'clock, guys. So good luck for the rest of the week's trading. And we look forward to chatting to you again next Friday. Okay, so that's goodbye from myself and Nick. Have a great day, guys. And we'll speak to you on the next one. Okay? Bye-bye.